What if I told you that some of the biggest influences on your price image aren't even your best selling items? Welcome back to The Price Point, everyone. I'm Eddy Salas, and today we're diving into a major blind spot in retail pricing, one that could be costing you both margin and price perception. Today, many retailers are focused on KVIs, key value items. These are the products that drive foot traffic and sales. Now, while KVIs are critical, there's a huge missed opportunity when long tail products are ignored. Today, we're going to be breaking this down in three different aspects. First, we're going to talk about why long tail pricing matters more than you think. Secondly, we're going to see how it impacts financials, price perception, along with overall pricing strategy. And lastly, we're going to talk about how pricing teams can build a case for senior leaders to invest in better competitive tracking, especially for these long tail products. So with all that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. KVIs today, they really get all the attention. They're the high velocity items, the ones that customers price check, and the ones that many retailers benchmark aggressively against competitors. But here's the thing, customers don't just buy KVIs. Long tail products, these are the ones that really don't sell in high volumes, play a huge role in shaping overall price perception. Why? Because customers don't always know what these products should be priced at. So if your competitor has the same item and they see a major price gap, it sticks. It creates perception that your store is expensive, even if your KVIs are competitively priced. And it's not just about perception either. There could also be a significant financial impact with it as well. So let's talk about numbers, because long tail pricing isn't just about those perceptions, it's about real dollars and cents. Retailers often assume that long tail items don't move the needle financially. But when you take a look at it in aggregate, when you take a look at it collectively, they can have a pretty significant impact on the overall P&L. So let's look at a few examples of this. Our first example is what happens if an underpriced long tail item is not priced correctly. So if you've gotten a specialty organic pasta sauce sitting on your shelf at $4.99, if your competitor is also selling that exact same item for $6.49 and you had no idea of that, you're essentially leaving $1.50 on the table per unit. Now multiply that across hundreds of long tail SKUs within your assortment. While these may not necessarily be fast movers, in aggregate, they can drive significant profit lifts, especially if you're pricing them correctly. The opposite of this is also true. So what happens if you have an overpriced long tail items? This is where it actually hurts your price image. Another example, say your store branded balsamic vinegar is priced at $8.99, but your competitor has a comparable option at $6.99. The customer sees this and assumes your store is overpriced. And suddenly your entire price image takes a hit, even if your KVIs are competitively priced. Long tail pricing mistakes are quiet killers. They erode trust without you even realizing it. Another example is what happens when a competitor introduces an overlapping item. The question is, are you even tracking it? A lot of retailers today, they only look at specific KVIs as part of their competitive collections. So if a competitor introduces a new product, one that directly competes with something within your long tail, and you're only tracking your KVIs, you won't even realize that this match even exists. Are they priced lower than your item, making you look overpriced and risking your overall price image? Are they coming in at a premium, meaning you have room to push pricing up to be able to help your overall profitability? Or does our introduction of this item signal a trend shift that you should be watching? If you're not collecting long-tail competitive data, you're running blind to market changes, leaving both financial and price image risks unchecked. Our last example of this is the KVI value size risk. What happens when a KVI has a long-tail sibling? Let's say you have a 12-pack of a national brand soda, and that's a KVI item because it's heavily shopped and it's price sensitive. But the 24-pack of that same item may be less frequently purchased, but customers will still use that as a reference. If you're aggressively pricing the 12-pack but ignoring the 24-pack, you might be unintentionally creating price gaps that hurt your price image and your financials. Think of it this way. If the 24 pack is too cheap, you've cannibalized your margin. If it's too expensive, customers notice the gap and question your value. Long tail isn't just about other products. It's about how items relate to each other within your assortment. Now, with all these opportunities, why are many pricing teams hitting a roadblock? The challenge is being able to get buy-in from leadership to invest in long-tail competitive tracking. Many executives still think that competitive pricing is a KVI-only game. So you need to show them the upside. And here's where we can help. DataWeave doesn't just pull competitive data and refine it for maximizing your match rates. We can also help you quantify what that opportunity is. We can identify the margin risks and price image gaps within your long tail assortment. We can highlight where competitors are moving before you get blindsided. And we can help you build a business case for expanding your competitive visibility beyond KVIs. Because pricing teams shouldn't just execute the strategy, they should also shape it as well. Here's the bottom line. If you're only focusing on KVIs, you're missing out on a major price advantage. Long-tail products may not be your top sellers, but they have a direct impact on price image, financials, and competitive positioning. And if you're not tracking them competitively, you're running blind. Let me leave you with this. How are you ensuring your long-tail pricing isn't leaving money and opportunity on the table? That's it for this episode of The Price Point. If this resonated with you, drop me a comment. Let's discuss. And I'll see you next week at the same time. Have a great one.